What is the absolute best thing you can do on a hot day? If you said drink hot coffee, then you and I will get along swimmingly. Oh, and speaking of swimming, the second best thing you can do is swim at waterfalls. So here's a list of 12 of the best Vancouver Island spots you can do just that, after you grab a hot coffee. Number 1 is Sarita Falls. You ever look at Banfield on a map and wonder what there is to explore over there? Well, if you decide to head there, you should probably stop at Sarita Falls on the way to swim in the beautiful green water in any of the pools at the bottom of the waterfalls there. With just these waterfalls and Pachina Bay, that would be enough to have an amazing weekend in this lesser traveled part of the island. Oh, and Sarita Falls is such a hidden gem that you might even get the whole spot to yourself. Number 2 is Wiener Falls. Wiener Falls is easily the best named waterfall on this whole island, and honestly probably the most unreal looking swimming hole. The water is a majestic crystal clear blue color, and the pool itself almost looked like a man-made grotto to me the first time I saw it. Another fantastic thing about this waterfall is it's just outside the town of Port Alberni, which has tons of options for food, coffee, and places to stay. Oh, and if you get a chance, it's definitely worth it to check out the big water volume it boasts in the winter. Number 3 is Ammonite Falls. This waterfall is located just outside the city of Nanaimo, which is one of the major access points to the island from the mainland. It's a very easy hike to get to the falls and definitely a seasonal waterfall. With that said, it's great for swimming in the summer, but becomes a very powerful single drop beauty in the winter. It's definitely worth your time to check it out if you're passing through Nanaimo or even just spending some time there. Number 4 is Lower Myra Falls. One of Strathcona's most well-known waterfall attractions, this swimming hole is definitely a must for anyone exploring British Columbia's oldest provincial park. With many waterfall drops, many pools you can swim in, and some beautiful but frigid green water, it makes sense that this waterfall spot is one of the most popular on the island. Number 5 is Walbrand Falls. Yet another incredible hidden gem on the island, Walbrand Falls is easily one of my favorite swimming spots on this list. Be aware if you want to see this one though, that it's not the easiest to get to as it's located pretty far from any establishment. With many pools, beautiful green water, and located just outside a lush old-growth forest, you definitely won't regret making the rugged trip out to it. Number 6 is Nile Creek Falls. Located in central East Vancouver Island, this waterfall also has many drops and many beautiful pools you can swim in. To get to the spot, you do have to hike quite a bit further than some of the other waterfalls on this list, but if you can find parking on the pullout on the main island highway, you can actually avoid a ton of the distance. Either way though, this spot is a great place to cool off in the heat of summer if you happen to be in the Bowser area. Coming in at number 7 is Rosewall Creek Falls. This popular waterfall spot is also located in the Bowser area, and for anyone feeling ambitious, you can see it in the same day as Nile Creek Falls for swimming. Keep in mind, it does require a fair bit of hiking to get to, even though the trail is well maintained and easy to complete for most who hike regularly. Number 8 is the Sooke Potholes. This is probably the most popular swimming spot on this list, and I've been swimming there when there's been hundreds of people all enjoying the many waterfalls and amazing little canyons you can explore there. Located just outside the town of Sooke, this is an area you could spend an entire day exploring, as there are some other great waterfalls nearby as well. Number 9 is Bonnell Creek Falls. If you happen to be passing through the Nanoose area of Vancouver Island, you should definitely go check out Bonnell Creek Falls regardless of what time of year it is. In the summer, it's a gorgeous little swimming hole to cool off and enjoy the sun, and in the winter, it turns into a completely different waterfall boasting big water volume with lush flora to add to its beauty. It's good to know if you plan on trying to get to the pools though, that there's a bit of a steep section toward the end of the short hike in and some climbing involved to get to the second pool. Number 10 is Little Knitnat Falls. One of my favorite waterfalls on all of Vancouver Island is Little Knitnat Falls. Best way to enjoy this one? Bring a paddleboard to get a better view of this powerful South Vancouver Island gem. If you do plan on making the trip out to find this one, be warned that it's located pretty far from establishment and the gravel roads to get there aren't pretty. Once you see its crystal clear green water and big water volume though, I don't think you'll be complaining. Number 11 is Christy Falls. This waterfall location comes with many waterfall drops and an old miner's cabin you can check out right on the trail. This is yet another spot that's perfect to swim at in the summer, but also amazing to explore during the rainy months when the water volume of these falls becomes seriously impressive. Located just outside the town of Ladysmith, this spot is worth checking out if you don't mind a bit of hiking to get to it. And the last waterfall on this list, and easily my favorite waterfall swimming hole, is Upper Myra Falls. Okay, this waterfall swimming pool looks like something out of a fairy tale. The water is like a Gatorade green color, and the waterfall itself is actually one of the tallest on this list. It does require a fair bit of hiking to get to, and to get right down to the pool was definitely not easy, as there isn't really a real trail, but I don't think I've seen a waterfall swimming pool that looked quite like this one anywhere else in all of my travels. Keep in mind though, its water comes straight from snow and ice, so it's definitely never warm. That's it for my 12 amazing waterfall spots you can swim at here on Van Isle. I just wanted to go over 4 pretty key things you should know if you're gonna go swimming at waterfalls here in Canada or anywhere in the world for that matter. The first being that if you're gonna put yourself directly underneath a waterfall, you're risking your life or a serious injury. Big rocks fall from waterfalls, all kinds of debris, sometimes even full tree logs fall from waterfalls, and that could happen at any time. So the second you put yourself underneath a waterfall, that's a risk. The second is that the water in Canada here is really cold. A lot of the water where waterfalls are comes from snow and ice up in the mountains, and that means you can get hypothermia if you stay in it for too long, so use your best judgment with that. Another really important point is that the currents in these rivers get really strong. I've jumped in water here before where I didn't think the current was strong, and all of a sudden I'm getting swept down the river. This actually happened while I was shooting Lower Myra Falls. I jumped in the water where it didn't look like the current was strong, and I actually started getting pulled down the river, grabbed a rock, luckily nothing happened, but this could happen at any point, and that is also risking injury or death. And the last point is when you're going to some of these waterfalls, it can be very difficult to actually get to the bottom of them or right to the pool. It was actually kind of sketchy getting right to the pool at Upper Myra Falls. I wouldn't suggest it for anybody who's not experienced when it comes to bushwhacking or hiking goat trails. Use your best judgment, don't do anything stupid. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and if you like waterfalls, subscribe, and I'll see you next Saturday.